Hi, good morning. Yeah, I have bedhead. I'm getting ready to get in the shower for the day. This is a reflection on lesson 20 of A Course in Miracles. And it says, I am determined to see. I am determined to see. And you have to repeat that like once every half hour all day long. And I did not do that. But I just peeked ahead at today's lesson and it's building on that, so I'll try to do my best. It's just that I can't do it all the time because I'm in class. Maybe I could. I'll just try to keep it in the back of my head. But I am determined to see. And somewhere in the lesson it says, like, today's idea also tacitly implies the recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want. So, yeah, I'm glad they put that. It's like, kind of puts it in context a little bit, like, I am determined to see. We don't have to go beyond that for today's lesson. Just like repeating that is just a practice, like all of these things. It's like planting the seed somewhere deep in the mind by repetition. Knowing, it's just saying like, yeah, we want to be able to see, but what does that mean? We don't have to know what it means yet. Just know that we want something better. That's it. So I like that. I'm itching my mosquito bites. There are so many. I need to not itch them. I know what happens when I do. They just stop. They keep itching. So I am determined to see. And there's like some shift in perspective that's going to come. I have no idea what that's even going to be like. And that's kind of the exciting part. It's like, ooh, trust the process. Like, keep repeating all of these lessons, these phrases day by day, knowing that it's going to lead to some shift. And that's exciting, you know. For me, who tends to like want to breeze through things, like, yeah, I get it already, let's get to the end. No, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, I am determined to see. I am determined to see. What does that mean? I'm not supposed to worry about what it means yet. And that's the hard part for me, as per usual with these lessons. But I like it. I like that it's like, slow your roll, lady. Hold your horsies. Just do the practice. Quit thinking about all the meaning or where we're going. Just know that you want to see differently, and that's a good thing. And it's true, I do. I'm like, the way I've been seeing the world is probably not as good as it could be, as deeply fulfilling and joyful. And I do, in my current life, have a lot of joy when I look out into the world, a lot of peace, you know. And then I was sitting yesterday, this was a funny one, I'll go ahead and include this because maybe I think it's related. Oh my God. Okay, so yesterday I'm attached to my cords, so I'm like on a tether here. So yesterday I'm sitting at El Ancla. Here, let me give you a different background. There you go. A little more beachy vibe back there going on with my sarongs. I'm sitting at the restaurant, just like I said in one of my videos that I'll post from yesterday. It's like, just wanted to find some peace and quiet away from campus, different perspective. And there's this cute little restaurant with amazing food and juices. Although I didn't have a juice, I just had water and a casado pescado de filet, which is a fish fillet. Traditional Costa Rican meal. And as I was sitting there, a gentleman walks over by the beach entrance, because it's like literally right on the beach. So you're like, you know, you're outside, you're on the beach. Literally your feet are on like dirt and sand. And then it drops down a little bit to the actual beach. Well, he goes out and stands right on that border of the restaurant and the beach and just starts smoking a nasty ass cigarette. And you can tell how strongly I feel because I said the A word. I grew up in a smoking household. I get it. It's like, you don't understand how that affects other people, or you don't care. One or the other. And either way, that kind of still irks me. I notice that I still have a trigger about that. Like, I'm like, why would you do that to other people who are trying to enjoy this beautiful space and their beautiful meal? And like, you just don't care. You don't get it. And if you don't get it, that's fine. Nobody has voiced that to you before, perhaps. And I get an instant headache now when I smell cigarette smoke. I mean, it really affects me. Where I'm like, oh God, I started to feel it coming on. I was just like instantly like, oh, gross. And so I kind of wallowed in that for a minute. And then I was like, oh, interesting. I'm still reacting to this in that way where I'm like, why would you do that to another human? Like, do you not care? Like, I'm projecting all these like things onto this person who I don't know, and like feeling not so positive thoughts about them. And then it ends and I feel so much relief after that, which I'm so grateful. And then it happened again with someone else. And this time it was a woman who was more like in that same area. And it was the same situation. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm learning a lesson here. What am I supposed to be learning when things happen multiple times and I'm like reacting? And so then I just sort of tried to like let it go. And then it ended. I didn't get as bad of a headache that time, but it subsided and I did feel relief and gratitude. And then what happened was so funny. Then somebody started smoking in that same area, but down on the beach, because you really can't do this out in the open inside a restaurant necessarily, although no one really cares. They were down like right down off the restaurant, so obviously still in the same area. And they lit a joint, and I started to smell it, and I'm like, oh man, that smells so good. I don't smoke or do anything like that anymore, but I still enjoy the smell of it. And then I was like, oh, you took this lesson a step further, didn't you? You're like, what's the difference between these kinds of smoke and what you prefer and what you don't prefer? Love and fear. Those two sides of that spectrum. I'm not neutral. I have no neutral thoughts. I do not see things neutrally. And then I'm like, okay, A Course in Miracles. Okay, Spirit, I get it. Like, it's all the same stuff. It's all my same trigger. It's all this me having preferences, likes and dislikes, and projecting that out into the world. Like, the world should be like what I want it to be like. And we all have different preferences. There are some people who are the opposite that I've talked to, and I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, I like cigarette smoke, but I can't stand weed smoke. And I'm like, interesting. So there was something to that yesterday. And like, maybe that does relate to also today's reflection of I am determined to see, because I am. I mean, those lessons yesterday came pretty quickly. Like, even during the first one, at the end, I was like, oh God, just let it go. This too shall pass, you know. I'm determined to see it differently. I really do want to not be affected or reactionary about these things at all. And they're still kind of there. Like, you know, that's what yesterday was about. And then the second time, like, came in a female form, so that made me feel a different flavor to that. Like, I had a little more internal animosity when it was the male than when it was the female, and I recognized that. And I'm like, what's that about? What's that about? And I'm dealing with my own like male privilege stuff in the world, being a female. Yeah, still dealing with that a little bit. And then the pot smoke that I preferred, and I was like, yeah, keep doing that. I like it. God, isn't that wild? So simple, but so wild. And it just like you know, when things come in threes, for me anyway, it's like bam, hit me right in the face. Okay, I'm paying attention. I'm determined to see. I'm determined to see what this is all about. Like the real, like the truth of it. So anyway, I guess it is all related. Okay, I gotta get in the shower. Okay, bye.